working on a new construction project and was told I need to do a road dedication. I'm gonna find the grant deed and email it to her. She said that if I email it, then she can upload it, which is awesome. I have all of them as physical documents in a file too, but like if I don't have to upload that would be better. It's just so crazy, like building new construction. It just seemed impossible in my mind, like so complicated. How do you do it? And now that we're doing it, I'm like, you know, we're still in the beginning stages. Obviously we haven't broken ground, but I'm like, oh, it's not as intimidating as I thought to like work with a city and do all this stuff. It's possible for anyone to do. There's like a weird mental block with new construction, I feel like. All right, I'm on hold trying to get a copy of the grant deed, which is what you get when you buy the property, because they never sent that actually when we bought the property. It's like a couple dollars, you just request it, but on the self-service thing I couldn't find it, so I'm just calling. So hopefully we can find it. I'm kind of confused right now. This is not the worst hold music I've ever heard. I'm like, okay, the saxophone. I've been on hold quite a bit lately calling different companies, and this one's actually, it's kind of fun. Okay, I'm gonna go get lunch. Okay, we're gonna film. I just touched up my hair. I don't know why it was looking really, so just quickly, you know, 5 minutes and it looks good. I'm trying to do that more before I film, just touch up my hair and makeup. It lives online forever. Just getting some thumbnail shots really quick. I just finished doing like a talk through, and then on a different day I'll get the B-roll. Okay, so I'm at the Beverly Hills Tennis Center. Me and my friend came to play because we're crazy. There's a heat wave and it's 90 something out, but I got this bandana wet. It helps to keep you a little bit cooler. So I'm practicing my serves because my friend Bree, she's waiting for her Whole Foods orders running late. So that's honestly fine because I never practice my serves, so let's do it. Hot out there today. We didn't play for long, but we played for a bit. Doing some edits for a brand. I thought about jumping in the ocean because it's literally 100 degrees out, but I'm like, I want to finish this stuff. So tomorrow when I go to Palm Springs, I don't have to deal with it. To the tripod, you can totally just connect it directly if you want. Good morning, guys. I haven't gotten around to vlogging yet today. I've just been rushing around this morning. I had to pack, going to Palm Springs. I'm going to get Botox, lol. I had to like shoot a couple last minute things, but I'm on the road going to Orange County because the girl that I think is just really good at Botox, I think it's worth it. It's not on the way to Palm Springs, but it's not exactly the other way. It's just like a triangle. We're doing that. Okay, just finished the Botox appointment and I came to this place that used to be so good. It had the best salads and it's closed. Got this instead. There's a fire and I'm far enough away from it, but like it's still super smoky. It looks like I'm literally on Mars. It is so red. I've never experienced lighting like this in real life. It's horrible that there's a fire, but this lighting is kind of cool, I have to say. I really hope that everybody's okay. It's almost like a sunset, actually. You can see where the fire is. How crazy. Oh my God. Finally, this tree is producing fruit. This is like an orange or a grapefruit or something, but it looks like kind of messed up. Ooh, we got a lime on the ground here. I'll take it. Ooh, another lime. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I can use these. Make a margarita. Look at all these lemons. Kind of smoky out today. Pretty unfortunate that it's smoky. New episode of one of my favorite podcasts out, Money Wise. This podcast is so interesting, you guys. I don't know if I vlogged about it. It's like a financial podcast, but people talk about really taboo stuff. It's mostly people who've made a lot of money, and then they'll talk about how they split it up and they're divorced. Kind of juicy like that. But good information too. It's not just stuff like that. It's like most of the finance podcasts are how people made their money, and this one's like how people manage it and like the things rich people don't talk about kind of vibe. So it's interesting. I made it to Palm Springs, so cheers. Sad that it's smoky, but I stopped at the store, so let's unpack some of this. Let's get a little bit done now that I'm here. Okay guys, so I'm sure you saw the title of this vlog. I wanted to talk to you guys about the Palm Springs house and the reality of Airbnb investing and why like my mind has changed about it a lot and why I don't really look at this house as a good financial investment at the end of all of this. It's been 4 years of owning it, and now we can actually see how much the house has appreciated versus if the money had been in the stock market, and it's pretty astounding, and it makes me go, dang, that would have been interesting if I had just kept my money in the stock market. It would have done better. The amount that we spent on the house, Monica and I bought it for what, $750-ish thousand. We had to put more down. If you're doing a short-term rental, you have to put more down than 20% a lot of the time. So we put 260,000, I think, down, about that much. So my half of that was 130,000. Then we did about 200,000 in renovations. Honestly, it was probably more than that. I don't know exactly at this point. And what I found, the money that we put in as the down payment, you know, that was 4 years ago. So that would have had 4 years to appreciate in the stock market. And the stock market is up 82% since then. So that $130,000 would now be $237,000. That's crazy. And for this Airbnb to beat it, it would have to get a really good cash on cash return, which it doesn't. Since that, you know, we spent a lot of it in 2021 and 2022. Since that time, it's been more of like 30-40%. I went with like 34% as an average. So that 100,000 in renovations would have been 134,000. My total investment was $230,000-ish, somewhere around there. If it had just been in the stock market, that would now be $371,000. That's a lot more than we've made with this house, even including the home appreciation, because there was a moment there in 2022 where this house was valued at like 1.4 million, and I knew at that time this doesn't make sense, like there's gonna be a correction, and now there has been. It's valued at more like 1.1, maybe like 1.1, although I don't have plans to sell it. So you see, the appreciation has been good compared to what we bought it for, but when you consider how much money we put into it, just like good but fine, not anything like stellar. And the big thing is that money that could have been in the stock market, it was making more than 10% a year. As an Airbnb, it wasn't making any cash on cash return, because most years, most of the money has just gone to maintenance. We'll cash flow a little bit, maybe $5,000 or $6,000, and then something will break, and that is where it all goes. And I've been listening to a lot of Bigger Pockets, like people who used to be on Bigger Pockets and they quit, and all of them talk about this now. It's like they are spilling the tea and they're like, oh yeah, the cash flow is stupid because, you know, you have a vacancy or like something breaks and that takes all of it. And I'm like, why were these people like promoting that so heavily? Well, it's because they were selling a course, that's why. When you look at this house, when I look at those numbers, I go, this wasn't really the best financial move I could have made at the time. Do I regret it? A little bit, but not really, because I do love having this house, and the cost to buy this house would be so much more now. The reason I don't like really regret it is we got a low interest rate you can't get for who knows how long. Who knows if they're ever gonna be that low again. And so our monthly cost for this house is like less than half of what it would be if you bought it today. We locked in low property taxes because in California, they only go up like a tiny bit per year. Like they can't go up more than 1% or something like that. The third thing is we got a rental permit in this neighborhood. You can't get a rental permit in this neighborhood anymore. It's like pretty much impossible. You would be waiting for like probably a decade. So for that reason, I don't regret it. And the biggest thing really is because I love coming here and I love this house. So that's really why I don't. If this was a house that I bought in an area that I don't like visiting purely for the investment, it would have been so stupid. I'd be like, I regret this. But because like I do use this house a lot, it feels more like worth it. That's how I justify it in my mind, I guess. At the end of the day though, the amount that it could have appreciated in the stock market, it's like, okay, I could rent a house for like 2 months every year in Palm Springs, you know? Just something to consider. I have been way more into running the numbers on things lately because I found a very unique house that was for sale in Palm Desert. Super unique zoning allowed for it to get a short-term rental permit, which in Palm Desert you cannot get anymore. They listed it for $950,000. I ran the numbers, I made a whole spreadsheet because I have a great idea now of what expenses are like here. It needed some renovations and I was like, this is not going to be worth it for someone because it's not gonna make money. You know, me and Monica like talked to them. We toured the house and talked them down to $850,000, $100,000 less. And even then I ran the numbers again and I was like, it's still doesn't make sense because the mortgage would be 60 grand a year. And then here in the desert, if you have a pool, if you have a gardener, if you don't have solar panels, you have all these things, that is at least $20,000 in additional operating expenses that you're gonna have. I think that includes like some maintenance. Usually it's gonna be like probably 5,000 every year and things just breaking. After that, I was like, wow, I don't want to buy that house. So I ran the numbers of like, you know, you have to remember the LLC costs, the short-term rental insurance. This is yearly amounts, by the way. Pool cleaning, electric, water, the mortgage, all of that. It would have been $77,000 just to run it. So to break even, man. So this would have been the initial investment. $170,000 down payment. It needed bathroom renovation and potentially kitchen too, and it really needed new furniture. So that would have been $240,000, which on average you can make $24,000 a year in the stock market. You need to be making, if you want to just match the stock market, $101,000. That's what you would need to make. And that is just to match the stock market. This isn't even including a property manager. Property managers do a lot. I know people are like, you can do it yourself. You can, but it is like, I don't want to. I don't have the time for that. I'd rather focus on other things personally, at least at the moment. I mean, I would co-manage it with my parents if they were down for that, but they're not really down for that right now, so I'm like, whatever. That would just be to match it. So much work. Why would you not just put your money in the stock market and click, 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 boom, it's set it and forget it. It's so easy. You can focus on other things. When all that's gone into this, like, I know all that's gone into this, and it's like, it would need to be making more. For me to think that's worth it, it would need to make like 120 or 30,000 a year. And that's pretty hard to do because this house, it had a pretty small yard, and it's all about the yard here, you guys. This is the house if anyone's like interested, because I'm not really interested anymore after running the numbers. Like, pretty cute, right? But just the pool, no grassy area. Like, I don't know, it's tough. Most people, if they're doing a short-term rental, they're shooting for a 20% cash on cash return, because that is like, you're doing better than the stock market at that point. It's like more worth the effort. I just think it would be tough to do that with these interest rates and everything. So those are my thoughts on short-term rentals. I just thought I would share my thought process because I've learned so much from it. And you know, going into this house, I didn't analyze it by the numbers. We were just like, it'll probably do well. Like, we weren't really looking at it like that at all. And now I'm like, you need to account for every expense you can possibly think of and then some, and be realistic and like actually compare if it's gonna beat the stock market or not. Like, is this worth your time, you know? So now I see why people really do the like financial analysis of it, because it makes a major difference for sure. It actually made me feel, after I did this analysis, it made me feel so comfortable walking away from that deal, because I was like, oh, that's not worth it. Whereas if you don't run through it, then you are unsure. You won't feel confident if you make an offer, or if you don't. You'll be like, if you make an offer and you don't even know really if it's probably gonna do well, that's scary, you know? So I don't think short-term rentals are really that worth it unless you find like a really good deal, or if interest rates were lower, or like new construction. I think new construction is the way to go. That's why like we're doing the Joshua Tree one. Actually, we almost have the permits. I've called the city like 4 or 5 times this week, and we've made progress, guys. Like, we're almost there. It's great. I'm doing some edits for the projector video, which is kind of funny because I shot it here, so I'm like finishing it here. I feel like anything. All right, I'm finished with these edits. Now I'm gonna get a fun little treat to bring to my parents' house. This key lime pie from Tommy Bahama is so good. You guys know I really like the Tommy Bahama here, and the other day I was talking to someone who called it an elevated Chili's for the desert, and I think that's like so accurate because it's a chain. So it's not like a cool restaurant. The food's like actually good and the prices are good, so I'm like, I thought that was funny. I was like, elevated Chili's. I'm not really a Chili's person, but I could see that. But yeah, I'm gonna pick up this pie because I'm bringing over my mom's like birthday gift, because I'm gonna be honest, you guys, I forgot her birthday. I literally forgot to say happy birthday, and I realized it, and I was like, oh, I'm the worst. Who forgets their mom's birthday? Like, that's so bad. So yeah, I have this little gift for her, and I'll get this pie as a cake, and we can late celebrate her birthday. I didn't tell her yet that I have this stuff, but let's go do that. Hopefully this was received okay. Hi T, happy late birthday. I forgot to say happy birthday on your birthday. This is your late birthday gift. And then this is a DIY project in here. I'll keep it if you don't want it, because I actually like it. But I was like, maybe you'll like it.
What the hell is this made of? Sterling silver?
No, I went to
Oh, I love
I did a class, but it's not the like wheel kind. That's why it's a little bit. Good morning, guys. I ended up going to my parents' house yesterday and spending the night there because it was so smoky that I was like, my two friends who are coming today, I was low-key like, I don't know, you guys, maybe hold off because I don't want you to drive all this way and it be so smoky that it's not even enjoyable. Like, personally, I'd rather be in LA where it's clear than be in smoke. But I woke up this morning, the smoke is gone. I don't know how, because the fires are still going. It was pretty windy, so I think that had something to do with it. I just came to the house this morning. Let's go put the umbrellas up. It's finally like not too hot out. I think it's only gonna be 100 today, which is very good for the desert. Check this out though. I don't know if you guys can see all of the like remnants of the ash or whatever from the sky. It doesn't normally look like this on these loungers. I think the smoke, you know, the air quality wasn't super good yesterday, so crazy that you can see it. I didn't really go outside a lot because I don't want to like breathe that in. Cute, ready for pool time. Having some chips and salsa out by the pool. I'm on a call right now, but I'm just listening with TikTok. Finally got my monetization program to work, so I'm gonna post more on there. Good morning, Momo. Hi. You guys, she reminds me so much of Cow. I love her, she's so cute. Who's here? I made margaritas with fresh lime juice and we've got the projector going. I've actually never used this like big projector. I've only used the smaller ones from the hot tub and it is so bright. Like even with this flash you can still see it so well. We're gonna watch that show about the secret lives of Mormon people. Wives, yeah.